when I was a kid, I was very suspicious of people. Didn't trust people because of how the environment I was raised in. Um, and over the years, it's maintained and only got stronger. I think I started, my friends used to make fun of me as a kid. They called me Victor Mature because I was very conservative. And there was an actor named Victor Mature. So we all from each other, but they called me Victor Mature. But I had this attitude that was conservative. I didn't like bullies. I didn't like drug addicts, hate drug addicts. And sometimes I stuck my nose into things and got my ass kicked. Sometimes I didn't, sometimes I did. But I was, I would say something. And to this day, I'm that guy that will say something. I went off on my supervisor twice in the last year. I saw him after 20 years after his retirement. But he was such a corrupt, morally and legally corrupt person. And he was allowed to get away with it. And because of him, I was taken off the case many times because he and my other boss were in bed with some of the crooks that I was working, getting favors from them. That's not dealing dope as far as I know, but getting favors for them, putting themselves in a compromising position. So I went into DOJ knowing that the top two guys in my agency were bad. And I brought the case with me that proved that they were bad or proved that they were showing bad judgment, minimal bad judgment, but ended up occurring over and over again because they were compromised by some of the informants that I had, because they were, and it caused me to get pulled off the case many times. They threw everything they could to keep me distracted, so, I maintain that same conservative attitude over the years, but in the job being conservative and being structured with people and holding them accountable, we've helped a lot of people, and having DEA at your back, DEA having your back to relocate people, FBI to relocate people, to give them money, to provide those resources. A lot of the gangbangers that cooperated with us in this case, they're doing well. And I still keep in touch with them. And I have several that teach for me. I had a hitman that taught for me. I had a trafficker that still teaches for me. I have kidnap victims that I met along the way. Families that have been touched by murders time and time again by the RNs, that teach, that talk about their experiences. I kind of bring that out because those are experiences that not a lot of people get. And when you're working a big case like that, you meet a lot of people, and I'm very inquisitive, and, I can write well because I was a probation officer. They taught me that, and I went to Catholic schools. And so I was always in on the big debriefings, whenever one of those guys got extradited. In our case, everybody got extradited, and everybody cooperated, And so you're sitting there across from the guy, and you're hearing about all the people he killed, corrupted, and, oil and acid and extorted, or people he paid off, and but my attitude, I was always listening, I was always respectful, but I hate those guys. I hate drug addicts, and I hate people that poison our society. And I hate drug users, especially because they're fueling the problem. My little pothead cousin, we're camping last year, and we're sitting around the campfire, and he goes, Steve, I know what you do. And what is the worst part of the drug trade that you hate, that you think is the problem? Guys like you that just smoke dope all the time because it feels good. You're fueling the problem. There's a trail of blood behind you. You don't see it. You choose not to see it. You watch it on TV maybe, but you're here in the United States insulated. But you're part of the problem. You and your stupid little friends that use dope and act stupid, and have bitch tits. I'm sorry. I do not like druggies.